were watching the programme last week, we did promise you that we'd bring you more from the BMF show, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So you watch the BMF show. I'm just a bit concerned about getting my leg over this bike. I'm sure these seats are getting higher.
Now, it's a great place to meet old friends, this. And here's my old mate, no stranger to our programme, Matt Coulter, the Kangaroo Kid.
G'day, mate, how you going?
Good to see you, yeah.
Good to see you too.
How are you keeping since we last met? You busy?
I would be busy, but I got a lot of shows been cancelled due to foot and mouth.
Of course.
So I've lost a lot this year, but I've been doing the stuff in America, and that's been good. That's been good to me.
All right, broke any more world records since we last spoke?
I jumped another flying aeroplane, but it was a bigger aeroplane and a longer distance, and actually broke my distance world record for ramp to ground.
Right.
In the process of jumping the flying airplane, because I had to do it to get over the jump.
Broke 2 records in one day.
Yeah, nearly broke my neck as well. On that one, it was wild. It was
fantastic. Well, you're still in one piece with your very loud jacket.
Yes, I always like colours, you know, bright colours.
But what are you doing here now today? This is something a bit special.
Well, it's a very special day, really, and actually, we're actually going to go for a world record with a good friend of mine, Graham Hicks. He's deaf and he's blind. And we're going to go over 100 mile an hour. I've already actually done 110 mile an hour, and the goal is now 120 mile an hour. The original goal was 100, but we've eclipsed that. Now that's what we're doing at Brunningthorpe Airfield, right? And so we're here at the BMF rally, and I'm just taking him around in the arena on my Honda quad, just showing the crowd what we're doing, raising a bit of money for his society and all that sort of stuff.
So he's deaf, he's blind, and he rides the quad.
I have no control over it whatsoever.
You sit on the back?
I sit on the back, and I hate going passenger. I'm like a control freak.
Now you know how I feel when I was on the back of your quad.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know why.
So you must communicate.
So here's what we do, right? Signals, I'm just on his waist, and I hit him with my legs to get him going, right?
Yeah.
And then a little bit left, a little bit right, and if I, you know, it's sort of like playing a video game, you know, and then brake is like this and all that sort of stuff. It's a whole series of signals. And on the RG500 quad, which we're doing the record on, he revs it so high because he can't hear the revs and that, right? And I'm looking over his shoulder at the rev counter, and the thing's got no rev limiter on it, and it's like screaming. And we ended up blowing it up at the end of the day, but on the last run. But and I'm banging him on the shoulder to change gears and that.
Right.
And for me, it's an amazing experience. I mean,
must be just as frightening for you on the back.
Oh yeah, he's a wild person. He's a real fun-loving person. It just goes to show that no matter what disability you got, you can still have a great life, you know, and you can have a good time. And he is really making the most of his life. And unlike some normal people, if you want to use a normal sort of word, who just make an ass of himself all over the place and not doing nothing and complaining about everything. But he's not. Doesn't complain about nothing.
I totally agree with you, mate.
He does complain. He's going too slow. Yeah.
Well, I've seen him in the arena there. He's going well. So you're going for the world record, what, this week, isn't it?
Yes, this coming Monday. What day is it today? I forgot. It's Saturday or something.
Today,
yeah, Monday we're doing it at Brunningthorpe.
Right.
And on the RG500 quad, which is the one behind me here. Right. It's my old race quad from 10 years ago. I've done it up. And
still going strong.
Oh, yeah, still going strong.
Good luck to you. Great to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you again, and I'm glad the show's going okay.
I'll see you tonight for a beer.
Oh, definitely. Actually, not if I see you first. Yeah. See you later.
Cheers, Matt.
Bye.
There's something that's very close to my heart, and I'm sure many of you viewers out there know this already, and that's this thing, trials. I love it. And at the show like this, they always get the guys performing. The lads that are out here now are only local lads, Peterborough lads, they're only club trials level, but I tell you what, they're performing very, very well. They've obviously got the very latest machines and all the right gear, and they look very, very good. They've got a guy doing a bit of commentary there, and creating a lot of interest, and it's good to see, because you can get yourself a trials bike and go and have a little play on the land, and it definitely increases your ability and control over a motorcycle. Just imagine lining up and riding over something like this, one of these big rails, which obviously has been used. Even this, look here, where the wheels obviously been breaking it. And the one thing that we don't see is obviously days before this happens, somebody has to come along here and set these things up. So there's an awful lot of work to entertain folk, but it's worth it, and I'm gonna just have a little watch.
You know, you never know who you're going to bump into at shows like this. You meet lots of famous people, famous bikers. Famous face here, Johnny Walker, famous biker.
Well, I suppose so, I don't know.
Of course you are. Are you a regular visitor here then, Johnny?
Yeah, I come every year. It's kind of at the beginning of the riding year in a way to me, the BMF show, you know. I'm just looking at the clouds now. I think I better go home.
No, give up.
No, it's kind of a BMF tradition. You get drenched on the way home, completely wet.
So, do you ride here then? You come on your bike?
Oh, yeah. Well, a bit silly coming in a car, wouldn't it?
Well, I know people come in cars so they get all the bargains and take them all
Yeah,
home.
no, there's a lot of people carrying, there's a lot of shopping going on.
There is,
It's like Oxford Street out there, you know, it's loving it. I go riding to get away from crowds, what am I doing here, you know? But no, most of the reason I come is for the ride up.
Yeah.
See Jeff, be rude to him, you know, about the BMF and stuff. Get a free lunch, do a bit of shopping, go home.
At least you're honest, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like. What do you ride, remind us?
I got a Harley Davidson Road King.
Right.
I had a BMW for a bit, and I'm getting old now, you know. And the way speed cameras and technology is now with points, you know.
Yeah.
80 miles an hour is due for me, really.
Yeah, that's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then, as a Harley man.
Yeah.
I know that this weekend is the European Harley Route in Saint-Tropez. I was invited to that,
Yeah.
and I gave it up in favour of this show.
Why?
I don't
Must
know.
be mad.
I'm bloody stupid. So why did you go there then?
No, I would have gone, but the way things are with Radio 2, you can never get an odd day off.
Right.
So to do the rally, I've had to take 2 weeks holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's me and 4 other mates, 2 weeks in June, first 2 weeks in June, going down through France, Spain, Portugal, maybe Morocco.
Fantastic.
A real, you know, riding holiday.
That's the best way. That's the best place to enjoy your bike,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's all a bit posy, that Saint-Tropez, you know. It's all right for half an hour and then you
I've
think...
never been though. I want to go. See, I've never been. I just want to go, just to say I've been. That's
Yeah.
all.
I'll go when the crowds aren't there.
Great
that's the
stuff.
thing.
So have you been snapping up bargains today then?
Not really, no. I bought a little bag for the new rack I got in the back, you know. I'm trying to give up this retail therapy, you know.
It becomes a blur, doesn't it, when you're walking down all these
Now, you're
alleys?
walking around and you think, and you just think, well, where am I going? What am I looking for, you know?
following like a lot of sheep, yeah.
You get caught up in the crowd type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Right, well, have a safe trip home.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your trip to Spain on the
I will.
Harley. I'm sure
I
you
will.
will. Take
Thanks
care,
a lot.
Johnny.
Cheers, mate.
Sunday morning saw the gathering of various motorcycle clubs. These are all clubs affiliated to the BMF, and they'd assembled from just about everywhere you can think of. They were all there to wave their banners and maybe drum up a few extra members. Bikes of every shape and size, some with trailers, some with sidecars, and some with both. The highlight for many was a trip around the Peterborough Speedway circuit, and with so many bikes it seemed to take ages, so we've speeded things up.
Now, when you come to the shows, then you always have a tendency, don't you, to sort of mooch through all the gear. In this case, in the marquees, and there's absolutely thousands of different products you can look at. But it's not just people selling out of a marquee on the cheap, end of lines or whatever. There are indeed people who are suppliers, importers, distributors, or even the manufacturers themselves. Now, for example, over here, we've got the AXO people. They've got a full display stand, and I'm sure if you needed a bit of advice, they can tell you all about the products, and you might indeed be able to buy it. Then look across there, we've got Skid Marks. Skid Marks are the people who do all the plastic injection mouldings, the screens, huggers, and all that sort of thing. And then this fella here, he's obviously telling us all about his fantastic polish. And then over there behind us, we've got Gialli Protective Denim. They're the people who do the casual gear, but with Kevlar built into it and everything. And obviously, it goes without saying, the tyre people, in this case Continental. Not only can you get advice from them all, you might even be able to strike a bargain with them because you're probably buying it direct off the importer distributor and maybe even get a bit of discount. Now there's no doubt about it, this show definitely attracts various different owners clubs from every different type of motorcycle, old classics to the modern day machines. Honda not being the only one, I can assure you, but they are celebrating something extra special this year. Now you may recall only recently Honda celebrated their 50th anniversary, that is producing a motorcycle. Well, the Honda Owners Club of GB, they are now celebrating their 40th birthday party. Look here, look, this is the Big 4-0. Now I wouldn't know what the Big 4-0 looks like, well, because I'm a number of years off. So I'm not celebrating mine, they're celebrating theirs. They've got a stage here, they've got me on the stage. The only thing they're missing now is the dancing girls. That's all I need now. Come on, girls. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Oh, hey, it'd be rude not to.
What's he like him? He can't even dance. 2 left feet, I don't know. This is another owners club. This is the Goldwing Owners Club here. And an array of bikes. Not quite every Goldwing, because they started with 1,000, remember, then the 11. But we have got 1200 over there, sort of early 80s 1200, dressed up to the eyeballs, chrome all over it, next to speakers and everything. 1500 here, sort of late 80s they came out, back into the 90s. 1500s is their very latest 2001 model GL 1800, which you might have seen me riding around on very recently. And as we know, this is 17,000 quid to put on the road. This one has got a few extra bits stuck on it. It's got a very fancy spoiler on the top box and it's had a few bob spent on it. So I don't know, maybe this is up to £19,000 or something like that. Maybe the best part of 20 grand. And they say there's no money in biking. Don't you believe it?
If I can fight my way through the crowds here with the cameraman, we'll bring you more from the show after the break. Excuse me, Jungle. Here we go now.
Welcome back once again to the BMF show. You thought we'd finished, didn't you? No, there's more. Believe me, there's lots more. We've not even been over that part yet, so let's go and have a look over there.
Right, we like to bring you new ideas, don't we? Well, that actually isn't that new. You might have seen something like that before. You might even call it a mushroom. That's what they were originally called. Well, it's one of the many that's just been introduced. It's a new version. It's a bit bigger than the old ones. In fact, here's some fitted down here onto this Suzuki. And that's what they do. They stick out like that. Strange that it looks, but very effective. You fall off, slide down the road. That is the bit that catches the ground. That'll save the paintwork on your fairing, or even breaking your fairing, possibly even help stop scratching your knee maybe. And then there's another new idea. Look at that. What is it, you might ask yourself? It's not a peak. It's not a device for using in the garden, for scooping the... No, look, it's here, fitted to an end can. And it's an end can protector. And at £35 for that, hard plastic stuff that will obviously protect the end can, that's saving you a small fortune, because some end cans are 100 quid and some are like 300 or 400 quid. So for 10% of the price of your end can, you can protect it with that. Here we go now, here we go. I don't know how you fit it like.
Now you remember at last year's BMF show I found you a trike, a backwards trike I called it. It had 2 wheels at the front and 1 at the back. It was a VMAX that had been turned into a trike, and it was all very fancy and very high tech and would have cost you several £1000s. Well, here's a cheaper option I found now. Look at this. This is a Peugeot Speed Fight. Well, that's what it started life as, and it says on the seat there, take one Peugeot Speed Fight that's hit a wall and add a vast amount of real ale and lots of imagination. It's quite wacky really, but it is a Speed Fight, as you can see. There's the clocks down there, mounted on the side there. The ignition's down here in this little black box. Steering is cable. It's a Volkswagen clutch cable, actually, this steering. Very light, and apparently it's a bit twitchy. That's off an MZ. They're off a BMW. I don't know where the extra wheels come from, because it's got 3 now, and the Speed Fight would have only had 2. It looks a bit like a Dodgem car at the front, but the sort of thing you could build yourself after a few hours round an auto jumble or a car boot sale, I would think. Apparently it stands them at 300 quid. Which I think is pretty good value for money. It's not MOT'd yet, but it is going to be MOT'd, and they're very confident it'll pass. Well, we'll see, eh?
Now that 3-wheeler baby that Paul's just been looking at, that Peugeot, is destined to have an MOT apparently in the near future, and the best of luck to them. But this one won't need an MOT for probably 3 years, because a new one of these, obviously, is a little bit more exciting than that there Peugeot. There is a difference though. The difference being is the Peugeot was around £300 to create, and this, although you personally wouldn't be creating it because it's already been done so by Mark Grinnell, and because this is called a Grinnell, it's going to cost you between £12,000 and £18,000. But if you spend 18,000 quid on a device like this, then you've probably got the ultimate 3-wheeler. It's beautiful.
There's a lot to see here, you know. It drives you up the wall, it really does. Well, it doesn't just drive you up the wall, it drives you round the bend. And if you're a fan of racing from yesteryear, then there was Vintage Speedway. Well, it's really a case of whatever turns you on, which is probably why people come from far and wide to visit this show. OK, let's find out where this gang are from. Where are you from, you guys?
I'm from Shrewsbury, man.
You're from Shrewsbury. Are you all from Shrewsbury?
No, Oldham.
Oldham? That's in my neck of the woods, Oldham.
Yes, Chedderton, Oldham.
Chedderton? No, any chance of a lift home after?
Yeah, no,
hey, where are you from? I'm from
Chedderton.
No, don't go away from us. No, don't be. Listen, just because you're on sick. What's up with you?
I'm really poorly, honestly.
Yeah, you bloody look at her. Oh, look at her. Rosy cheeks. You've been drinking that sherry again, haven't you, love?
Oh, yeah.
No. Is it a gynecological problem? Because I don't know a lot about it, but I wanted to take a look to see.
Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
All from Hull.
Hull?
Yep.
Oh, right. And
It's East Coast.
East Coast? Yes, I know Hull, the Garden City of the North, isn't it, Hull?
Well, see?
Hey, see?
There's no whippets.
There's no whippets. You know, somebody said to me, they said Hull's the end of the world. It's not, is it?
It's the end of the M6.
You can see it from there, can't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite the end of the world.
Sunderland.
13 miles outside of Newcastle.
Yeah, that's very accurate, that, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, right, where are you from?
Which is
20 miles south of
Seahouses.
Berwick,
Right.
the Scottish border.
Right, okay then. I'm no wiser by this.
Right, another man from Belgium. Hoodland Motorsport, what does that mean?
That's a club in Belgium, and every year we had a rally for people who are more than 40 years.
All right, I can come on that then.
Hang on, the phone's going. Hang on, here it is. Hello? Hello? I'm at the BMF rally.
I'm in a fabulous!
I'm an absolutely fabulous time.
Wayne's into scooters.
It's okay. It could be worse.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying he likes his scooters.
Yeah, I get the scooters because he's a bastard of a producer and he won't let me ride them. Yeah, he is the boss. Yeah. Don't get this on camera, will you? The fact that he's a producer who's a right big bloke.
Well, thanks, Wayne. We know where we stand. Stand by then, young Wayne, for lots more scooters. Time now then to catch up with my old mate Jeff and see how it's all been going. Well, I'm absolutely knackered. I've walked miles. How have you gone on, Jeff? How was it for you, darling?
I'm absolutely, well, I won't swear because I don't swear, unlike you. But no, it's a long day and it's a tiring day for me, you know, and so but it's been a good day. I mean, it's another success for the BMF, loads of people, haven't got the figures yet, but everyone's enjoyed themselves, but they always do.
Do you get out, I must ask you this, because you spend a lot of time sat in an office with pens and telephones and things, it's a nightmare. I know you work very hard, all you guys do, but do you get out and see the show?
No.
Have you not actually been around it?
No, I mean, I've looked out the window and all the rest of it, heard the odd explosion of things, so I'll stuck my head out. But no, you just don't get time. You intend to go out, but you don't really get a feel.
Well, you should, you're missing it.
I know,
it's
well,
fantastic.
I mean, you tell me what's been going on, because you're not the only television people here, you know, mate.
Well, no,
I mean, I've had 6 other TV companies here, but we won't advertise for them, will we?
No, you're
But I mean, they've said, can you do this, can you do that, which it's my job to be helpful, but, you know, it's a busy day.
None of them have asked to
What have you
interview
seen
me.
Anyway?
Why have none of them asked to interview
It's
me?
only famous people, celebrities.
What have I seen? Shall I tell you what the highlight
Go
is?
on, you tell me what
highlight,
have you enjoyed?
And I've managed to tick off mine. You know, mate, you have a list of things that you're going to do before you die.
Yeah.
And you tick them off as you do them. Riding a helicopter.
Is this broadcastable? Oh, yeah.
I went in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right.
It was tremendous.
It's expensive, though, isn't it, Paul?
It is, 25 quid or something.
Yeah,
it was.
but well worth it.
Fantastic, tremendous experience. But I've seen lots of other things. There's loads of owners' clubs here.
Yeah.
And what amazes me is I've seen owners' clubs here for bikes that I didn't even know still existed.
You know. Like what? It's in the old Jawa and
CZ Owners Club.
Yeah, and they're so enthusiastic, aren't they?
And they're all there, the machines are still running.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the attractions. I mean, the clubs here, I think there's about 100 clubs exhibiting. Part about we got 340 clubs, but oh, sorry,
What's
Paul.
my coffee? He's throwing coffee all over me now, look.
It's for tea. There's about 100 of them here.
There's loads of them.
Yeah.
And I tell you what is fascinating, and I take my hat off to him. Matt Coulter, the kangaroo kid, with Graham, the guy who's blind and deaf.
That's right. We better wish him the best on his world record attempt. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely terrific.
And you enjoyed that. You're not going to have a go at that, though.
No. I've been on a quad with Matt Coulter. That was enough. So, are we going to do it all again next year?
I've just seen Wayne over there.
Wayne
Do you think he wants to get in on the
He's
shot
working.
there?
He wants to go home, and I do. I bought a map, by the way.
Oh, good man.
Well, this year's show was another huge success. The official attendance was a touch over 86,000. Matt Coulter and Graham have since broken the world speed record for a quad. Remember, Graham is totally blind and deaf. He achieved an average speed of 99.6 miles an hour at Bruntingthorpe just a couple of days after the show. So well done to them, and thanks to everyone involved for another great BMF show. And on Two Wheels next week, we send Wayne, remember he's the one who was moaning about riding scooters, we send him to an open day at a scooter museum near Wigan.